Hi, I'm Mike Casey for San Mateo County History Stories on Penn TV. You know, here in the 21st century, South San Francisco has billed itself as the biotech capital of the world. But for the better part of the 20th century, it was a city of hardworking butchers and meat packers, steelworkers and shipbuilders. Ladies and gentlemen, South San Francisco is indeed the industrial city. And in case you forgot that, I'm standing in front or on top of a not too subtle reminder of that fact in giant concrete letters, where else on Sign Hill in South San Francisco. Unlike the letters on the Hollywood sign in Hollywood, these letters are flush with the hill itself. They vary in size from 48 feet in length to 65 feet in length. From a distance, they give the illusion of the same size, but because of the contour of the hill, they vary in length. The width will go from the 10-foot I to the over 22-foot S. Now, these permanent letters were installed in 1929, but originally there were less permanent letters in 1923 made out of cement, lime powder, and water. And they were put there by the city fathers to attract families and more business to the existing businesses in South San Francisco at the time, like Western Pipe and Steel, Western Meat Company, Pacific Coast and Steel, and Fuller Paint Company.
What you're looking at now are the concrete stanchions that once were the supports for an electrical sign that was once situated on the crest of Sign Hill above the concrete letters. Thanks to Kathy Kay of the South San Francisco History Room at the Grand Avenue Library and Frank McCauley, retired South City Public Works Program Manager, for confirming this fact. This sign was added in 1932 by G.V. Thompson. It was the largest electrical sign in the world at the time. It was lit only after dark. It had 14 separate flashes in different patterns, advertising, in addition to South San Francisco, the industrial city, such slogans as "Drink Acme Beer," "Buy Bakery Good," "White King Washes Everything," and "Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop." It was visible for miles on clear nights. It was turned off in 1939 when the threat of war brought fears that the light might help locate the Mills Airport. Both signs were located in such a way that they could be viewed easily from Skyline Boulevard, El Camino Real, the Bayshore Highway, now 101, as well as train passengers and airplanes from Mills Field, now the San Francisco Airport, and the popular Tan Foran racetrack in San Bruno.
The more permanent letters, when they were installed in 1929, they were installed by a pressure gun using a new material for the time, gunite. And they were applied onto reinforced steel wire. 1929 was also the year that the David Guggenheim Fund honored these letters as an aid to aeronautical navigation. And the certificate was signed by none other than himself, Lucky Lindy, Charles Lindbergh. Now, Sign Hill consists of 30 acres of open space with 2 miles of hiking trails. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the name of the late, great Alphonse Subert, who is known as Mr. Sign Hill for over 40 years of devotion to this hill and the planting of 5,000 trees over that time. Mike, you might say there's not 5,000 trees on the hill now. Well, every time one died, he planted another one. Every time a tree was vandalized, he planted another one. So it was pretty much 5,000 trees over that time period. In 1991, he received the Lawrence Enerson Award from the National Arbor Day Foundation for his devotion to the trees and the tree planting, the nurturing of the trees here over a 40-year period. I might also mention another South San Franciscan that was instrumental to the preservation of this hill, and that would be Edna Harks, who in the 90s, late 80s and 90s, when people thought this hill had outlived its usefulness and the sign should be removed, she led a campaign to preserve Sign Hill and the sign. That culminated in 1996 when Sign Hill took its place on the National Register of Historic Places. Currently, with ecological awareness, people are more aware of cultivating the native plants here and getting rid of the invasive species. I might mention that this is home to the rare endangered Mission Blue butterfly. So the people from San Bruno Mountain Watch in Brisbane that take care of the adjoining San Bruno Mountain and to preserve that, they come here regularly to make sure the host plant of the mission butterfly, the lupin, is nurtured here and any invasive plants are removed. When I stand up here in such a beautiful site with the stunning views and the peace and tranquility, I can't help but thinking that I'm king of the world. Well, if not king of the world, at least San Mateo County. If you want to know more about Sign Hill and the history of South San Francisco, take a look at the following graphic where you can get more information at the historical room at the Grand Library, Grand Avenue Library in South City, and the South San Francisco Historical Society on 80 Chestnut. Until then, I'm Mike Casey, and I'll see you next time on San Mateo County History Stories.